Okay. Good morning to all of you. So, in last class, we have discussed about the securities and the security steps that is present in our web technology. So, what are the security steps and security measures are present in our web technology? We have seen it. Now, again, back to that theoretical part because we are continuing the theoretical part of this XML, HTML, all of those parts. And as it is getting some type of boring, then so that's why I have tried to shift it to some another domain. And now that domain has completed. Now we are back again to that particular part of web tech, and we are talking about the thing about PHP. So we are talking about PHP. So now we are going to talk again about those particular thing topic, that is PHP we are discussing. So first of all, the associative array in PHP. First of all, the associative array in PHP. So uh, PHP features are there. Associative array. The associative part means that arrays store element value in association with key values other than in a strict linear index order. So array, they have the features in PHP. We can access the features of array. So what is this part of associative array? So associative array is saying that it is means that part, the associative part means that the arrays store the element values and association with the key value. So associative array, the array store the element values. The array store the element values in association with the key values rather than in a strict linear order. So here we are storing an element in an array. So array always store an element. We know these features. So an array is storing an element. So we want to store an element in an array in association with a key. So how to store an element in an array? We have seen all of these particular things in far back from the C programming, then Java, all of these programs have done. So in association with that, we want to store an array, store an element into an array. So by for how we can do that, we need a key. We need a key to process that. We need a key to process that. So this key, when we are accessing an element, we are entering an element into an array by a key, then that key will also help us to retrieve that data from the array. That key will also help us to retrieve the data from the array. So this key may be a numeric or a string. So we can create an array function for the associative array purpose. For the associative array purpose. So we can create a array function. We can create an array function to create an associative array. To create an associative array. So here the syntax to create that, we can say that here's an array name. We can give an array name. Then array using some key one that is denoting to a value one. Key 2 here, there is a mistake. It will be key 2 that will be denoting to value 2. This is the key 2 that is actually denoting the value 2, and similar to that key n to the value n. So the array name, how to access that array name, equal to array key 1 tends to value 1, key 2 tends to value 2, key n tends to value n. So this is the process. So key 1 syntax to create an associative array. First of all, the array name, then the key 1 to the value 1, key 2 to the value 2, key n to the value n. So here some examples are given for that particular how to create an associative array. We can see that PHP. First of all, we need to mention that what domain we are, what coding platform we are using. That is a PHP. Then my array. So here the array name is my array. Here the array name is my array. So my array, then the array 5 to apple. So 5 is the key that is mentioning the value of apple. That is mentioning the value of apple. 10 to mango. 10 to mango. 20 to grapes. So 5 equal to apple, 10 to mango, 20 equal to grapes. So print are here my array. So print, we are here printing the value of my array. So print underscore r, that is my array. So how, when we are printing the value of my array, when we are printing the value of my array, so array 5 to apple, array 10 to mango, and 20 to grapes. So array that will be printed the value like array 5, that is denoting to apple, 10 to mango, and 20 to grapes. Similarly, for the next part, that in the first example, we have seen that the value have been the key used here, that is a numerical. The key we are using here, that is a numerical. Now, in the second example, we can see that here the key that we are using here, the key that we are using, it is something string. It is something string. So here the name of my array, and it is array equal to name. The key is name. Key 1 is name. The value is James. Key 2 is age. The value is 25. Key 3 is gender. Value is male. So here we are using a key of a string. We are using the key string. In the first one, we are using the key that is some numerical. In the second one, we are using the key that is some string. So here the output will be displayed the name, that is James, age, that is 25, gender, that is male. So in two example, we can see there are two different type of key we have used. First one, a numerical key. Second one, a string key. Second one, a string key. So these two type of key we have been used here. So we can also refer to the individual element by using this key value. We can use this individual element by using this key value. So how to do that? That first of all, example that is given the name of my array, given, then array name James, it's 25, gender male, that is we have access. Now we need to access that. So name my array, that is name star. So here we are printing that particular key value, that is a string, that is the name. So my array, that string, we are accessing the name of key. The key, that is the name. Here the key value is name. So string name, what is the value present in name? That is James. So that will be coming as a output. So this is how we can also individually access each of the element. So in associative array, we cannot use for, while, do while loop to iterate through each element in an array, because associative array key value are not consecutive. So here in associative array, we cannot use the value, we cannot use the features of this for loop, do while loop, this particular types of loop. So while in array we can do that, but in associative array we cannot do that, as these are not consecutive. The key values are not consecutive. So that's why we cannot use those particular loops. So here the example again, that is for each my array in an item for the echo item. So that is we cannot get each of the value. So that is showing some distance. So you have to use for each loop. So here you have to use for each loop, not only the for loop to get the array, to get the value. We are using here for each loop. So something new have been introduced here, that is using with the for, that we are using for each loop. So for each means that we are accessing each of the values. So by using this for each loop, we can access every values in an item. So here, after this associative array, the another term it is present here, that is multidimensional array. Multidimensional array, what it is saying, that the PHP supports these multidimensional array features with an arbitrary number of key. So PHP supports this multidimensional array features with the arbitrary number of key. And just in one dimensional array, there is no need to declare out intentions of advance. So in PHP, that is in multidimensional array, it is supporting by the arbitrary number of keys. And here we don't need to declare the things advance. So multidimensional array, the star 0 plus star 1 equal to, by concatenating all the values, we are getting a result of good morning. So here we can see that is a 4-dimensional array with some numerical index. So you are using, sir, we are using some numerical indexes here to use this multidimensional array. We are using some numerical indexes to use this multidimensional array features. So here the values that are stored in an array can be in array, can themselves be an array, just as legitimately they can be string or numbers. They can be string or the numbers. So here the example we can see that multi-level array, that is star 0 plus a simple string. Star 1 plus star contains a string stored deeper. So we can access by using this numerical star contains value. The integer key of 0 stores a string and key 1 stores an array that in turn has a string in it. So integer key 0 is denoting that it is storing a string. Integer 0 is denoting that it is storing a string. While the key 1 stores an array that in turn has a string in it. That in turn has a string in it. So creating array within another array also. So we can also create an array within another array using the array function construction. Using the array function construction. Using the array construction function. So here we can see that a basket, it is a name, and we are providing some value of array. That is the key value. First here it is fruit. The array inside that particular fruit, we are creating another array. So array in an array. So here the concept of array in an array is being used. Array in an array is being used. So basket array, the fruit, then the array. In fruit, there is an array. We are creating basket type of array. There where some fruit value will be there. And in that basket of fruit array, we are creating another array where the name have been mentioned. That is red key is denoting to apple. Yellow key is denoting to banana and black key is denoting to grapes. Black key is denoting to grapes. Similar to that flower, another array have been used, and then another of array that red equal to rose, yellow equal to sunflower, purple equal to iris. So here the thing is that we are creating an array inside an array. So here we are creating an array inside an array. So how to access that? So in simply that array with two values stored in association with keys. So each of the values have this array itself. So similar to that, in the first one, in the basket of array, we are getting the value of red equal to apple, yellow equal to banana. So when we are going to access that basket of array with fruit. So fruit array, when it is accessed, then we are getting for the value of red, it is apple. So when we are accessing the value of flower, for red, we are getting the value of rose. So we can access it like that, echo basket of fruit and black. So mentioning that which particular array we are accessing and what key values we want to get. So basket of array, fruit, then red, fruit and then red, fruit and then red. So fruit of array, red equal to apple. Flower of array, red equal to rose. So when we are accessing this particular thing, basket of fruit black, then the values will be displayed like this. Echo basket of fruit black, the values will be displayed like this. Will print grapes and kind of flower color equal to yellow. So basket and flower and color, then it will print some sunflowers. So these will be the values how we can access each of the element. Access each of the element. So now in PHP, the browser, in the PHP browser, we can create sessions and cookie. We can also have these features of creating the sessions and the cookie. So how to create the session and the cookie in PHP? How to create the session and cookie in PHP? So PHP sessions here, it is a PHP session variable is used to store information. So we can access this PHP session variable. Here are some variable is used, that is a PHP session variable that is used to store information about or change the settings for a user session. So PHP session variable is used to store the information about or change the settings for a user session. This session variables holds the information about one single user, and available to all pages in one application. So this PHP sessions variable is used to store information or change setting for a user session This session variable hold information about the one single user and are available to all pages in one application and are available to all pages in one application. Now, what is this PHP session variables? How to use those PHP session variables? So when we are working within an application, we can open it, do some changes, and we can close it. So whenever any application we are using, we can change it, we can modify it. So this is such thing like a session. So means suppose now you people have joined into this particular meeting. You people are here. We are having some discussion, and when the time will when the meeting will get closed. So this is a session. This is a particular session. It is opening at particular time. Then at a particular after a particular time, it will also end. So this is called a session. So similarly, on any application, on any web browser, anything we actually opening, it will have a starting time. It will have an ending time. Starting time when we open the session, ending time when we close the session. So when we are working with an application, we can open it, we can do some changes, and then we can close it. So this is called a session. This is called a session. And this computer, let the computer have the features to know about this particular sessions. And computer knows that who is actually logging into that particular session, when the session is starting and when the session is getting end. So this is very easy for the applications. This is very for the applications, because applications, when we are trying to log in into some applications, we have to log in by some credentials, or the application knows that who actually we are. But in internet, while we are using the internet, there is a problem that web server does not know who you are, because we can access the web without login, without the login with some email ID. There is a features we can log in, but still we can access all the features of the web browser without the login. So here the problem is the web does not know the who the person is, who is actually logging. So, and as the person, it is unknown. So what the person is doing, it is not also known, because maybe he is getting all the things, but who is the person who is doing the things, it is not at all known by the web. So HTTP does not maintain any particular state. So HTTP does not maintain any particular state. But here PHP sessions solve this problem. So here the scenario of PHP session comes into the scenario and solve this particular problem. So how to do that? That PHP session solve this problem by allowing us to store the user information on the server, on the server for later use. So this PHP session solves this problem by allowing us to store the user information, for later use, such as the username, shopping items. So when we are logging into Flipkart, so either we are logging when we are trying to buying the thing, so that's where the user details or of the all the things have been stored. The session is storing there. So PHP is doing the storing of this particular session. So PHP solves this particular issue when the user is logging, how to access the user data. This session actually work by creating a unique ID. This session is actually work by creating a unique ID. This session is actually work by creating a unique ID for each visitor. For each of those who are accessing the web, create a unique ID there and store variable on this particular UID. This UID is stored in a cookie or propagated in the URL, or is propagated in the URL. So starting a PHP session, how to do that? Before we can store user information in your PHP session, before we can store the user information in our PHP session, we must first start up the session. This session start function must appear before the HTML tag. So the session starting of a PHP session, we can store the user information in our PHP session. We must first start up the session. So how to start the session? The session start is helping the session start function is helping before the HTML stack. So PHP session start, we can see the example that before starting the HTML, we can accessing that PHP session start. We are accessing that PHP session start. Then HTML body, then whatever the things have been written, then the body and HTML will be closed. So PHP session start function is used before starting any PHP session. Before starting any PHP session. So this code above will register the user session with the server. The code above will register the user session with the server, allowing us to start saving user information, allowing us to start saving the user information and assign a unique ID for every user session. So before starting or proceeding, we are creating a session start function. We are using a session start function there, and this session start function must appear before the HTML tag, must appear before the HTML tag. So PHP session start have been there. Storing a session variable is there. So correct way to store and retrieve the session variable is there. So how to store that? Then the session variable is using that session start function. First of all, PHP, the session start function is there. Then it stores the session data. Then it stores the session data. And how to session? The session views equal to 1. Session views equal to 1. Here, the session views have been added. Session views equal to 1, where the body of this HTML, all of the parts have been used. All the things have been, whatever the things will be there in the body part. Then the closing of body and HTML tags will be there. Then the closing of body and HTML tags will be there. And how to retrieve the session data? How to retrieve the session data? That is the page views and session views. So you are using the page views and session views. You are using the page views and session views. So the output here, we are actually, that is the page views 1. That is actually for the session view 1. So whatever the session have been happening in the session ID 1, that will be getting as output. We are getting that as the output of our output page of page views 1. So here in the example, we can see that we create a simple page view counter. We are creating a simple page view counter. We are creating a simple page view counter to do this particular thing, to get the session data, to access the session data. So this is how we are actually creating or getting the session data. So views have been set. The isSet function checks if the views variable has already been set or not. So views have been set there. And if views has been set, we can increment our counter. Later on, we can increment our counter. So how this is possible, we can see in the next example. We can see in the next example that how we are actually doing this particular thing. That is the session start, and if each set is session views. So each set function is there. Each set is checking that whether the session views have been set or not, whether the session views have been set or not. So if it is set, then we can increment and decrement the process. Then we can increment and decrement the process. If session views 1, the view will be there. And how to destroy the session? We have created a session. We have created a session. Now, how to destroy that particular session? How to destroy that particular session? So if we destroy, or if we want to delete the data, if we want to delete the session data, we can use the unset function. We can use the unset function to destroy the session. So to destroy the session, we are going to use the unset function. We are going to use the unset function. This unset function is used to free the specified session variable. This unset function is used to free the specified session variable, such as that PHP unset session of views. Unset session of views. So this is how the unset have been done. This is how the unset have been done. So PHP unset session of views. So it can completely destroy the calling of session destroy function. It will completely destroy the session destroy function. So this session destroy will reset our session and lose all the stored session data. So whatever the session data have been stored in that particular session, by using the unset function, all the data will be lost. All the data will be lost. So this is how to create a session, to destroy a session, and to work on a session. Now the next part of session, that is cookie. The next part of session, that is cookie. So cookie here, PHP cookie is used to identify a user. PHP cookie is used to identify a user. So to identify the user, we can use this particular cookie. We can use this particular cookie. So the cookie is a function often used for identify a user. It is a small file that the server embeds on the user computer. So the cookie is on the user's computer, on the client side. The server embeds this particular small file into the client side to know about the particular user data. To particular about the whatever the user's identity, the cookie will be used from the server side to client side to know about the user's identity. So each time the same computer requests a page, every time a same computer is requesting some page from the browser, it will send the cookie to. So the cookie will be attached when it is something, some request is coming from the same computer. The cookie will be used here with PHP. With the help of this PHP, we can both create and retrieve the cookies values. We can create a cookie and also retrieve the data of a cookie. So every time when a same computer is requesting for some pages, we know that yes, this is the person. We are getting to know that yes, they're from the same computer, this particular same computer, we are getting the value. So how to create a cookie? Now here the question is that how to create this particular cookie. So we can create this particular cookie. The set cookie function we can use there. Set cookie function we can use there to set a cookie. The set cookie function we can use there to set a cookie. This set cookie function must appear before the HTML tag. Similarly, that the session function we are using to create a session, it is using before the HTML function. Similarly here, the set cookie function is used to set a cookie. This set cookie function must appear before the HTML tag. This set cookie function must appear before the HTML tag. That is set cookie name, value, expire, path, domain. Name, value, expire, path, and domain. So here in the below example, we can see a cookie have been created in the name of user and assigning the value. So here a value have been assigned. So PHP file is there, set cookie, username, that is some the name is given and the time is there. And a time has been there. So this is how the process have initiated to set cookie, the user, the time, and then the HTML part comes into the scenario. Then the HTML part comes into the scenario. So the value of the cookie, is automatically URL encoded. The value of the cookie is automatically URL encoded, and while sending the cookie, this automatically decoded when receiving. So the cookie is automatically encoded when the cookie is sent, and it is automatically decoded when it is received. It is automatically decoded when it is received. To prevent this URL encoding, we can use set raw cookie instead. To prevent the URL encoding, we can also use this set raw cookie. So here an example is given again. We can also set the expire time for a particular cookie. So if we are trying to kick out the user from the session, then we can use this particular option of set out or exploring the cookie. So it will be using it into a seconds. So expire time we will be mentioning there. So set cookie with the session of expire. So expire session have the time that expire session have the time of this particular, how to use that. So here also we can also retrieve the cookie value. So how to retrieve the cookie value? The retrieving of the cookie value is done that PHP cookie variable is used. Cookie variable is used here to retrieve the cookie value. And so here in the example, we can see the cookie named user, and we are actually printing that session to get the cookie value. So PHP session have been used here, print a cookie. So echo $cookie is there, and to view all the cookies, printer the cookie. So cookie variable is here to get the value or to retrieve the information about that particular cookie. So here the isSet function, similar to like the first one, the session. Here also a isSet function is used to find out the cookie have been set or not. So we are using this isSet to check whether the cookie is set or not, whether the cookie is set or not. So that's how is it happening. So HTML body, and then the first one, that if isSet of cookie, if isSet of cookie is the user, we are using this isSet function is there. So to check that whether the cookie have been used or not, to check whether the cookie have been used or not, and then the isSet function welcoming the cookie user, and then all whatever the details, whatever the else, the welcome guest. So if the cookie have been mentioned as per some users, then it is okay. Otherwise, it is mentioning some welcoming by guest. And also, how to delete the cookie? We can delete the cookie by the expiration date. So set the expiration date. We can set the expired date to get the details, or to delete the cookie session. We can set the expiration date to delete the cookie session. So this is how we can access the features of cookie. We can access the data of cookie. We can delete the cookie. We can create a session. We can delete a session. And now, what if a browser does not support this function of cookies? What if a browser does not support the function of cookies? So most of the browser is supporting this particular cookie functions, but some applications deals with the browsers. There are some applications that deals with the browser that does not support the cookies, So we will have to use the other methods to pass information. We have to use the other methods to pass the information from one page to another page, from one page to another page in our application. So one method is to pass the data through the form. So here we can use the we can pass the data through the forms, and the forms and the user input are described earlier in the tutor. So we already explained this. So the form below welcome PHP. Here a form have been designed, that is the name of welcome PHP. This welcome PHP users, whenever we are submitting and then clicking on the submitting button, we can get the cookie data, we can get the data. So HTML body, a form have been designed. That is the form, how we design the form. That has been mentioned, that form action, welcome PHP, method of post, name, input type, these have been added, and then the type name. So net input type, and the form have been designed. How to create a form, that I discussed in our previous classes of HTML and all of the part. So the form have been designed. A form have been designed here, and retrieve the value of welcome PHP file. How to retrieve the value? Just we are echoing. We are printing the data. We are printing that particular data of welcome PHP, and we are getting the value. We are getting the value. We are printing the data of welcome PHP, and we are getting the value. So retrieve the value of welcome PHP, like HTML body, PHP echo, and all of the data we are accessing. All of the data we are accessing. So up to this, we are going to discuss of today. Then in the next part, there is some new topic, that how we can connect the databases in the web. How we can connect the databases in the web. So after this particular topic, we are going to end for today. So here we have discussed about the cookie sessions, how to create a session, how to delete a session, how to create a cookie. All these things have been discussed. These things have been discussed here, and now we are going to talk about how to create a database, how to add a database in the web. That will be discussed in the later classes. Okay. So up to this, we are going to discuss today, and we are going to stop here today. QR code have been shared in your group. So anyone, if anything wants to ask, they can. And otherwise, I have shared a QR code in the group for your attendance purpose. You people can mark your attendance. There. So QR code was shared already in the group, and you people can go and mark your attendance. So, and if anyone wants to say anything, they can. And you people already get the information that from 14, you people having the internal exam. You people having an internal exam. So what is the topic of discussion for the internal syllabus will be shared to you people, that what part will be there for the internals. Okay, because a lot of topics have been discussed, so we are not going to give all the topics in the exam. So I will share whatever the topics are going to be in the internal exam. Okay, so up to this, we are going to stop today. Thank you all for joining into the session. Take care and stay safe and scan the QR code for your attendance marking. Okay, so thank you all and stay safe.